It's important for us at FHC to practice and to live our core values. And one of our core values is around how we care and, just look out for the best interest of our members. And so these webinars provide such a unique opportunity for us to demonstrate that care. As you know, they would have been birthed out of COVID and our inability to, be there with you, whether out at an event or having an engagement here at our office. And so we had to find a way virtually to still maintain that connection, which is so important for us at FHC. We look for opportunities like these where we can partner and collaborate to really, engage you on subjects that relate to your well-being and your holistic well-being, not just financial well-being, but looking on the entire person.
I just want to speak about some of the benefits of the pension gold. There is the retirement benefits. Pretty much what this is when it's compared to a life insurance company, what happens is that you are able to receive up to 25% of total savings in lump sum at retirement, right? The remaining value is paid out periodically until age 80, at which point the balance will be then transferred to the life insurance company. What happens if it is that you have decided to stay within the fund up until age 80 is that you're able to continue to earn interest until the payments are made, right? And then there's also a strong death benefit. What happens with the life insurance companies is that there's usually a weak or no death benefit. Speaking of the death benefit, what that really is that if it is that you pass away before all the funds are done, what will happen is that Pension Gold makes that provision that you're able to allow that balance to go to beneficiaries, right? So your loved ones don't have where they're going to get money to do this and that for you. They're actually prepared because they can use that balance and do whatever it is that they need to do. And if you did it well, they'll have leftover. So the other thing too is that there's a disability benefit. So if it is that, much like the death benefit, if it is that you become disabled before time or even afterwards and you're unable to earn any income, what will happen is that you'll be able to gain access to the portfolio, to the balance that is there in your portfolio, right, before the time. So you'll start getting those payments at an earlier date. Of course, you'd have to come in with the necessary documentation to prove all of those things. Then you have the tax benefit, which personally, it's my favorite because when I hear tax benefit, I'm thinking, well, I don't have to pay tax on this. So all this money that I make is mine, right? So there is tax relief on the contributions up to 20%, of course, because remember I told you, so your contributions is within a range of 5% to 20%. So what happens is that you can contribute those funds and there will be a tax deductible. So you won't be contributing you won't be paying any tax on what it is that is coming out of your salary to go into your pension fund. There's also tax relief on the interest earned. So what that means is that anything that is generated during the period that it's in the pension fund, not taxed at all. It's all the funds. It all stays in the fund. There are no payments as it relates to that. And finally, when it's time for you to receive your funds, tax relief yet again. So when you go, because you're at that retirement age, you can actually apply for the exemption, and there you'll be collecting your funds. So everything comes from top from when you were working, everything comes straight back to you. That's why it's the favorite. Tax all around, it's gone. So along with these benefits, you have the performance benefit, which of course we are competitive with others. And you can see this in the way that our reporting is done. So when we look at our performance over the years, what we usually report is the net yield to you, which means that is what you will get. So it already takes out fees and expenses that the fund has incurred, right? So that is yours. Many other companies speak of a gross yield. So they try to get you with 20%, 25%, but then they don't put into it the fees that have to be paid. And so you end up seeing a lower figure in reality. So you have to check those details. There is service as well. So FHC is investment, specifically is a boutique investment house. So we tend to be more one-on-one. So our advisors are easily accessible, right? In addition to that, we're also the administrators of the portfolio. So you can call us directly with any queries and they'll be answered. In fact, it allows us to be closer to the plan, which means that we can answer your questions within a shorter time period. Who doesn't love that? I don't know, right? So those are the benefits of the FHC retirement scheme known as pension. Those are the pension goals. Now, it's simple. The requirements are very, very simple. You just have to be eligible, which means that you have to be Jamaican, right? Have to be between the ages of 18 to 58. You have to be a self-employed person, or you have to be employed in a non-pensionable post, so like a contract position or something like that, where you're not actually contributing to your company's pension plan is what that really means. You're not an active member of another plan. Specifically, I want you to focus on active, because you may be a part of another pension plan, but you're not actively contributing. You're not giving any funds on a monthly basis or however often it's, right? So you want to, if it is that you're already in one, but you want to start a new one, that can be facilitated. And also, you have to have that initial deposit of 2,000 Jamaican dollars. Along with those things, you'll need your national ID, TRN, proof of address, proof of age, which is usually birth certificate or your passport, and 2 references. Right? Those persons usually fall within the usual category of doctor, lawyer, JP, minister of religion, those categories.
I am supposed to speak about wellness. And I love that term wellness. And I think I was just really excited when the ministry changed their name from the Ministry of Health to the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Because what is wellness? It is a state of being in good health. But the second part of that definition is especially as an active pursued goal. So the first thing I want to say about wellness is that it is an active process. It is not passive at all. So today I'm going to speak briefly, and I'm going to put it in big digestible chunks for you. Wellness, mind, body, and soul.
All right, so how you protect yourself? Well, really 3 main things that I typically recommend. Limit the information that you share. Contact information, personal information. If you find sometimes people, companies, businesses asking for too much, don't be afraid to say, why you want that? Or I don't think that I want to give you that. Or why is it that you need that to give me this service? All right? Sometimes they say, okay, can I get your name? Can I get your phone number? Can I get your email address? Why do you need my email address? Why do you need my phone number? If you don't feel that the service that you get from them warrants this information, you don't need to share that. The other thing you need to really consider doing is, a lot of us walk around with our laptops. We have computers at home. We have tablets. We have mobile phones. You'd be surprised at the amount of information you walk around with on these devices, right? If somebody gained access to that information, not to say that Google or Apple doesn't already have access to that information, they find out quite a bit about you. I mean, if you have location services turned on your mobile phone, somebody who gains access to your Gmail account could see everywhere you've been, from the time you turned on location services to the time they gained access to your account. And I mean everywhere, right? Because the breadcrumbs that come from location services are very detailed, very granular. So one of the things you want to do is make sure that you secure the data on all of your devices. How do you do that? You may encrypt the information on your laptop or your desktop, or even your tablet or mobile phone. You may do things like turning off location services, clearing that information from your Gmail account or your Apple account, that sort of stuff, deleting information that doesn't need to be on your mobile devices because they're easily lost or stolen. So you kind of want to manage that information and pay close attention to the information that's stored on those devices. Here's another one I'll tell you. Be mindful of the pictures that you take on your mobile phone, because many times what people don't know is, one, they take some interesting pictures, and I'll leave it as interesting. And not only are those pictures stored on the phone, but they're automatically uploaded to the cloud, which is perhaps your Gmail account. You don't know what happens to it after that. You don't even know where it's stored, which means you don't know who could have access to those interesting pictures and exploit them. And by the time you find out, it might be a little too late, right? The third thing is, a lot of us use social media a lot. And it's amazing, quite shocking sometimes, the amount of information we put on social media. It's beyond shocking. Sometimes you kind of want to be mindful of the kind of information you put on social media. Here's why. And some people say, well, I don't put a lot of information on my social media accounts. What is on my Facebook account is not on my Instagram account, and on my Twitter account, and so on. You'd be surprised, because if I looked at each one separately, I may not get a lot of information. But if I took chunks of information from each one and created a composite, I get a lot of information about you. Right? So on Instagram, I might know where you've been for a weekend, which I'd never see on Facebook. But on Facebook, I know who your family is. On Instagram, I may know things that you like. On Facebook, I may know birthday and that kind of stuff. So when I'm putting all these things together, it creates a composite profile of you, which tells me a lot of stuff. If I know your birthday, I might know what one part of your password is. Of course, I'd know your full name. I'd know family members, and I might know their birthdays. And you might decide, I might know the name of your dog. Are you taking pictures of it? You might use your dog and your birth date as your password. Really easy stuff. But you'd be surprised how many people do that. In fact, some people on this webinar might be saying, but yeah, I do that. But that's how easy it is to get information about you. So you have to be very careful about the information that you store in social media, because it's publicly accessible. Be mindful of who you engage and who you make friends, right? Because a lot of times we make friends with people we don't know. Nefarious actors, right?
What sectors does First Heritage finance? Retailers and wholesalers, the transport sector, agriculture sector, restaurateurs, mining and construction, manufacturing. And before I move on, just want to say that if you did not just see, and I'll go back to the slide in case you want to look at it, your sector on there, just know that First Heritage is willing to sit and discuss any application that you are willing to put forward, and we'll assess the risk involved and we will guide you along the process and do our best to find you financing for your project. So don't be shy if you are not there. Sometimes we get approached with some new sectors, not a new sectors emerging recently, and we have financed quite a few of them. But again, you have to come in and have the discussion, and then we will craft a product for you if we don't already have one. So available loan options as they are today. We have our FlexiBiz, which is a microloan that starts from 30,000 Jamaican dollars all the way up to 500,000 Jamaican dollars. This product can be secured or unsecured. We have our Signature Biz. This is for small businesses, and this amount starts from 500,000 and above. And the sky's the limit with this loan. It all depends on your availability or your ability, to repay, and in some instances, security provided. So we spoke a lot about the DBJ, and DBJ to First Heritage as a MFI, right? We provide small and medium-sized business loans to the DBJ at very competitive rates.